they've caught up competition wise to compete on a high level, but we talking about mentally tough, hitting those shots. Like you said, if Gabby Williams hit that three, she didn't hit it.
She did. It was a 2-pointer because her foot was on the line. She hit the shot.
It wasn't a three, but it wasn't a three though.
Okay, but I mean, it was seconds left. So I'm saying, to counter your point you're making, you're saying that if she would have made it, first of all, I think the NBA, and this is just my take, the NBA, WNBA, have done themselves a disservice when it comes to competing internationally, because when I'm watching the games, the refs allow things that will not be allowed in the NBA and the WNBA.
Yeah.
So you talk about toughness. I don't know if I agree with you on the. I think they have a level of toughness that, American basketball just isn't used to anymore. I mean, there's a lot of hits, knocked down. Like, I'm looking at the American players and they looking up at the refs, and I'm looking like, you need to get back up off the floor and go play some defense. I mean,
you saw that in certain cases where they looking for a foul and they didn't get one. They blatantly was fouled like a mug. You know what I'm saying? But that girl Agee Wilson was not gonna let them lose that game, bro. Like you said, she put them on her back.
She did. And shout out to all the women Olympics basketball team. Shout out to the coach, because she made one of the best decisions I thought she could have made. She put Diana Taurasi on the bench. She said, listen, I know you wonderful and you great, but you 40. And you ain't LeBron James 40. This here is different. So I just think that, and again, I don't know if this is France, this is who they are, but I know this is who they were in this tournament, because we saw it on both sides, the men and the women's side. And when you got the home country behind you, they had a home team. People talking about home field advantage. No, they had the home country advantage. I mean, it was just a phenomenal game. And I'm glad that the Women's USA team came out on the other side. And again, shout out to Agee Wilson, who was the USA Women's Olympic MVP. And speaking of MVPs, the men's basketball, they played a tough game against France. Listen, that Wembanyama, the alien that they call him, Agee, he next level, man. That Joker, listen, he gonna be in contention for MVP this year in the league. What was your take on the men's gold medal game?
Man, I was only able to see the highlights of it. Didn't watch the actual game of it. But from the highlights, I mean, France came to play. Them young boys, the competition, they played. They got more. I don't know how many dudes they got over playing in the NBA, but these dudes was like, they weren't scared of these guys. Like,
at all.
Let's get it, chest to chest. I'm in your grill on every, I'm making that extra effort play. That's like how France was, you know what I'm saying? And it was surprising USA guys a bit. They with the ball like, damn, y'all, okay, like, I got to really take your ass to the hole and really bump you and give you that. Man, but Steph just all world, man, all global. He globally, the way he shoot the ball over three dudes, I'm fading back and they hit nothing but draws. And man, KD just effortlessly did that. I mean, it was just, I was like, damn. Hey, and what's up with old boy Fournier? He was giving Holiday the business.
The business.
Any of them guards, Steph, whoever was guarding Fournier, you got some of that.
This all you saw was this. Because he was, listen. Hey, I said to myself, man, if that team there, if they just put that team in the league, I don't know what city they will go to, but you take just that team and you transport that team and put it in the league, Them dudes could compete for an NBA championship right now against any NBA team in the league. They can compete right now for
I
an NBA
believe that.
championship.
I believe that, Will. And you know what? When you look at stuff like that, just that player Fournier, wasn't he on the New York Knicks and they wasn't playing the dude?
I forgot what squad he was playing with.
He was in the NBA, Will, with some team just sitting on the bench, not playing at all.
But isn't that a lot of guys like that? Because I'm looking at this France team. I said that starting five and that one dude who comes off the bench, they can go to the league and play for anybody.
Right.
I mean,
right?
I mean, just on the no fear alone factor. Like they didn't, the dude didn't fear LeBron James. And again, I can't say enough about the alien Wembanyama. I just can't say enough about this 19-year-old kid. First Olympics. This kid scores like the first 10 points against the USA. They didn't have an answer for him. Now, don't get me wrong. That dang old Joel Embiid, if we did not have him, they wouldn't even been in the championship game because he saved his best game for that when they played against Serbia. I mean, he just, and of course, you know, Steph Curry heroics. I believe this to be true. Steph Curry is the best shooter in the world. Ain't no doubt about that. I mean, what he had not played great basketball in the Olympics, but when he did,
he had to remind you. He reminded the world. He reminded the world. And you know what? Who else we got to give a shout out to? Luau Dang and the Sedan team.
Absolutely.
Because there's a couple of them dudes on that squad that can be on some NBA teams.
That can be on some teams. That can be on some teams.
They play hard. They play tough. They play with a looseness.
And this goes back to the point. The world, if they have not caught up, they have catching up. Because
shit, they coming. They right there.
Yeah. Because again, it wasn't like the men's win was a dominating win.
Right.
I mean, they had to
we're just
fight.
Superior over you. Yeah,
they had to fight. You got to remember, at one point they was down about 16 points. We're talking about third quarter.
Yeah.
And it took some heroics. It took LeBron James having to play 5 positions. It took Kevin Durant having to be, easy money sniper. And of course, it's the Steph Curry having to hit shots over 5 guys. I mean, that's but when I look at the collectiveness of that team, and I got to bring this up. Why couldn't Steve Kerr use Jason Tatum more? Because I think they missed out on that 6'10" frame that he has.